The courtroom doors open, and Judge Ponder takes the bench. The mood is tense but calm. A young woman, Miss Ghost, steps forward, her voice trembling but determined. She says she's here because the father of her 1-year-old daughter, Alexis, isn't helping. She wants child support. Across from her, the father shifts in his seat, defensive already. He claims he doesn't mind paying, but quickly blames her for leaving him and cheating. The air thickens as old wounds reopen in front of the court.
All rise. Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of the ghost.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay. Miss Ghost, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we have a 1-year-old daughter named Alexis Ray. We're not together anymore. We were married for 2 years. We divorced because I like women. And so I want to put him on child support. He don't do nothing for his little girl. So that's basically.
Okay. So you all divorced, have a 1-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want him to pay child support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, seems pretty straightforward. Sir, what do you have to say about that?
Your Honor, I don't have a problem paying child support, but, she did leave me for somebody else. She cheated on me throughout our relationship and things like that.
That's another court that has nothing to do with me. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. I only make $16 an hour, ma'am, as a warehouse supervisor, so it's really hard to make ends meet. So I don't know how much I can give. It's expensive to live where we live,
Well, according to the documents you provided, you made $18 an hour, not $16.
Oh.
Oh. So
He's
you
also
don't
a
know how
liar,
much you
Your
made?
Honor.
No, ma'am, I was mistaken. I apologize.
Oh, okay. But you get a check every month, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all made the perfect couple. You're the liar, she's the cheater.
Well, that's
Yes, ma'am.
semantics right there. That's the particulars. He lied. I didn't cheat on him.
Okay, well, we already established that he lies. I mean,
Oh, yeah, see, I told you he was a liar.
Well, I mean, you didn't even have to tell me that.
You knew that, right?
I don't know how you do
So,
it every
you know,
single time.
What are you?
You know, what I don't need.
The judge presses for facts. She points out an inconsistency. The father claimed to make $16 an hour, but his paperwork shows $18. The courtroom stirs. He stammers, apologizing, saying it was a mistake. Miss Ghost smirks, calling him a liar. The judge cuts in sharply, reminding them both to speak to her, not at each other. It's clear their marriage was a storm that's finally run aground, and now it's time for order.
What you all to do is address each other. You all
Yes,
will
ma'am.
address me. There's obviously a reason that you're no longer married. Okay?
Because he's a cheater.
No, because you guys were the perfect storm is why you guys are not married anymore. Now, in terms of health care, who pays it for this child?
He pays it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
She's
currently-
on his Medicaid.
Okay, so wait a minute. The child lives with you, but
Yes, ma'am.
and the child is on Medicaid.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you paying Medicaid yet, or you haven't started paying them?
Yes, ma'am. I am paying for the child's health care right now.
Okay, so you guys understand that Medicaid is not health insurance, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is health. It's not health insurance per se in terms of a private carrier, but for the child, that particular service is through the state of Texas. So that money does have to be repaid to the state.
Discussion turns to health care. The mother explains the child is on Medicaid under the father's name. The judge carefully explains Medicaid isn't private insurance, and those costs must be repaid to the state. The father nods, confused but compliant. Miss Ghost listens, arms crossed. Both parents seem lost in the bureaucracy, but the judge keeps them grounded in one fact. Someone must pay for this child's care.
State. You're not paying health insurance to her. You understand that, right? Or you didn't understand?
I
'Cause you're looking real
understand. I
confused.
understand that now, ma'am.
You understand it now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you understand that Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state, and you're going to have to start paying child support at $18 an hour. You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You looked real depressed just then. I mean, did I say something wrong?
No, ma'am. I just know how much it's going to hurt, ma'am. That's all.
Know how much is what is going to hurt you.
The child support hit.
And you do understand that, Mom, are you working?
No, ma'am.
Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
I mean, I just don't work.
You don't want to work, but you think that he is solely responsible for taking care of your 1-year-old?
Well, she lives with me, so I take
excuse me,
care.
I was talking, thanks. If she does.
The judge notices the father's face drop. You look depressed, she says. He admits he's just worried about how much child support will hurt his wallet. Then the judge turns to Miss Ghost. Are you working? Her silence fills the room. She admits she's not. I just don't work, she says softly. The judge's tone hardens. You expect him to support your 1-year-old alone? The courtroom grows quiet. Miss Ghost looks down, unable to answer.
Does live with you. Yes, she does live with you. And he will be obligated to pay child support because of that. But you also need to be working too.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you going to come back in here next time with some proof of looking for a job?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I will. And I'm currently pregnant again. So we might
Your
be
Honor,
for
that is not my child.
Oh, that was my next question, but
I ain't touched her in like almost a year.
okay, that is good information to know.
Wouldn't
That
touch her
has
either.
nothing to do with this because a child that is not born is not a child within existence at this moment, so therefore child support can be determined anyway.
We'll be
And
back, though.
You'll be back for
We'll be
that
back.
child. Okay, well, when you return, we will discuss
somebody
that
else.
child.
With you. We'll be back with you.
Well, sir, just make sure you know, I just want you to know that you do have the right to get a DNA test.
Oh, really?
Yes, you have a right to get a DNA test on that child that she's pregnant with, just to make sure if she does bring you back, that if it's not.
Then, a bombshell. Miss Ghost reveals she's pregnant again. The father immediately raises his hands. That's not my child. The courtroom reacts. Judge Ponder keeps her composure, clarifying that this unborn child isn't part of today's case. Still, she warns the father. He has every right to a DNA test if questions arise. The tension between them simmers. The judge raises her voice just enough to regain control. Address me, not each other.
Your child, you won't be placed on child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that?
But it's your child, so don't worry about that.
Ma'am, I don't need you addressing him, okay? And as of right now, we don't know whose child it is. When I say we, I'm speaking about the court. We don't know whose child it is because you're currently pregnant. He hasn't had an opportunity of doing DNA tests, okay?
You get pregnant from another girl.
All right. Sir, I do not need that extra sidebar over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, so based on $18 an hour, what is your work week? And truthfully, how many hours do you work a week?
Roughly 60 hours a week, ma'am.
Okay, you told the truth about that. I just have to verify everything that you say from now on.
I
So
apologize.
$18 an hour at 60 hours per week. That brings your gross to about $2,160. Your net of $1,903.58. Now, in terms.
Now it's down to numbers. The judge calculates carefully. $18 an hour, 60 hours a week. His gross pay, just over $2,100. His net, about $1,900. After deductions, she orders him to pay 9% for health reimbursement and $380 in monthly child support. The father nods slowly, his expression tight. The judge reminds him if he finds cheaper health insurance, he can return to adjust it. But today, this is the law.
Of health insurance at another time, you do have the right to get some sort of health insurance plan for your child. However, for today, you're going to have to reimburse that money to Medicaid. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to take 9% of your gross, that $2,160 amount. 9% of that is $194.40. Now, if you are able to find some health insurance that's cheaper than that, that would be great. You have the right to do that. And when that does happen, you can come back to court and we can make the change, okay? But as of today, that's the number. Then you're going to pay, your child support obligation is $380.72. But mom, sir, asked that you pay back pay since the day that the child was born. You know what that means, right?
No, ma'am.
So pretty much that $380.
Then comes the hardest part, back pay. The judge explains that because he hasn't paid anything over the past year, he owes retroactive support, 12 months worth. That totals $6,600. The courtroom falls silent. He insists he gave her money in cash, but the judge shakes her head. That's considered a gift. His shoulders drop. He's ordered to pay $100 a month toward that debt, bringing his total obligation to $480.72 each month.
Dollar amount, you're going to be responsible for paying that for the past 12 months. Yeah. You're looking real confused right now.
Not confused, concerned, ma'am. That's
Yes.
all.
Well, okay, so up until this point, you have not been giving her any type of financial support for your child. Isn't that correct? It's a yes or no.
I have, ma'am, but I can't prove it because it's always been cash. I've always.
So the answer is no,
Yes, ma'am.
because if you've given her cash, that's a gift, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So the back pay that she requested for the past 12 months would bring your back pay, is also known as retroactive child support, $6,600, okay? And I'm going to make that payable at $100 per month. So your new child support obligation is going to be $480.72 a month. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you all have any further?
The father sits back, silent. The mother looks satisfied, but the judge warns both. This isn't about winning or losing. It's about responsibility. The father nods again, eyes down. When the judge asks if either has more to say, neither speaks. Their story, 2 years of love turned into a financial battle, ends with the gavel's final tap.
Any further questions or anything? Any concerns you want to bring to the attention of the court?
No, ma'am.
Anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi guys, we've come to the educational portion of our show. I just wanted to go over what you just watched in the ghost case. One child involved in this case, mom is currently pregnant. Dad hasn't paid any money to mom for the care of the child. Does he have to pay child support? And does he have to pay her back pay? Well, in this particular case, yes, that is very much so what he had to do. So you heard testimony that mom was currently pregnant. Well, that's irrelevant to a current court case when a child is not born. A child that's not born at the time cannot be calculated in terms of child support currently. In addition to that, because dad had not given mom any child support previously.
After court, the narrator, Judge Ponder herself, breaks it down for the audience. One child, one request, and one clear outcome. Child support granted. She explains the law simply. If the child isn't born yet, no support can be ordered. But if you fail to pay for a living child, the court can and will reach back in time. Retroactive child support exists to make sure no child goes without way.
While the 1-year-old child has been here pretty much, dad had to reimburse mom for retroactive child support for the last 12 months. Well, the only reason why mom was able to receive it is because she actually requested it within her court petition. Guys, if you do not ask for it, you do not receive it. So just make sure when you go to court that everything that you are wanting the court to know about your case and that you are seeking as relief, be sure to ask for it.
The judge's final words are both warning and wisdom. If you don't ask, you don't receive. Miss Ghost asked, and today the system worked for her. But as the credits roll, one truth remains. These cases aren't about parents. They're about children. And as Judge Ponder always says, after all, kids aren't raised on air alone.